So why is it that you get popping, clicking, or cracking in the knees every time you bend it? So that might be every time you go from a sitting to standing position or standing to sitting position. It might be when you walk or run or go up or down the stairs. In this video, I'm going to show you some of the top reasons why this may occur and also whether this is potentially an issue or not. Let's begin. Hello, my name is Dr. Stephen Hume. I'm a chiropractor based in Reading, and in today's video, I'm going to be looking at the knee joint and why it is that we might get this popping or clicking every time that we bend or extend the knee. Now, I think we all would have experienced this to some degree at some point in our life, particularly when you go from that sitting to standing position. Quite often your knee will click. Now, the question is this a problem, or what even is this? And when is it a problem when the knee clicks? So I'm just going to go through some of the top reasons why this may occur, and whether this is a problem and what you can potentially do about this. So first one, the most common reason why you might hear your knee click, and this is the one that everybody would have experienced, is when we get a gas bubble being popped within the knee. So due to Boyle's law states that as you increase a pressure, you're going to decrease the volume. So pressure is inversely related to its volume. As you flex the knee, what you do, so as you bend the knee, what you do is that you open up the joint, so you increase the volume within that joint, which then is going to decrease the pressure. As you do this, small little gas bubbles are going to develop within the joint. And then as you go to extend the knee again, you're going to then decrease that volume, which is going to increase that pressure, which then pops those gas bubbles. This is where you might hear some of that clicking. This is very common across the body. It's common in pretty much every synovial joint, every joint that has this fluid. And most typically you might hear that people that click their knuckles. But also when you get an adjustment from a chiropractor, this is the same concept. So as you change the volume of that joint, you then get that popping. So it's just a release of gas bubbles, which is not usually painful. So that's the first reason. And if you hear this is not a problem. This is a normal physiological response. Now, the second reason why you might get clicking, particularly within the knee is formed by two bones. So we've got the femur up here and we've got the tibia here. Then underneath, on top, we've got the kneecap, otherwise known as the patella. This patella has a little groove that we can see here, and it's designed to glide within this groove as you flex and extend the knee, so as you move the knee. If there's a problem in the way that this patella is tracking or moving across these bones, you can then get wear and tear on certain areas outside or even on this groove. So if it's not going straight up and down, that's going to be a problem. This can occur for many different reasons. At any twist or dysfunction within the joint, any restriction within the joints of the knee is going to change the way it moves. If you have a difference in the way that the quadriceps are pulling from one side to the other, it might pull the kneecap outwards or it might pull it inwards, and that's going to send it off track. And as you can imagine, if it's going to go outside of its natural groove, you're going to get then more wear and tear on the area of the bone that's not designed to have this tracking. When that happens over time, you can then start to get a little grinding noise, and this can sometimes sound like popping or cracking. Sometimes that might occur without pain, and sometimes, or quite often, that will occur with pain. And actually quite often it will occur with pain before you get the clicking or cracking within the area. Now, this version of clicking quite often is a problem, particularly if you don't have that pain yet, you just have the clicking. Over time, the likelihood is you're going to start developing the pain, and that's going to limit you in certain activities. But also the longer that stays like that, the more wear and tear you're going to get within that joint, and the likelihood is that's just going to get worse. Now, that most commonly will occur when you have, as I said, a difference in the tone of your quadriceps, but also can occur from a hip issue, such as a glute weakness, the muscles on your buttocks, because if that area is not controlled properly, that's going to affect this, and you can start getting changes in the way that knee moves. So that is quite a simple problem to fix. Chiropractors, physios and osteopaths are very used to treating this kind of issue. So if that is the reason why you're getting the clicking or popping, I would get it checked out. Now, the third reason why you might get clicking or popping can come from the joint that's just behind the patella here. So from this joint here, so between the femur and the tibia, so the actual knee joint. What happens is if you have any dysfunction over here and you get wearing out of the cartilage that's in between these two bones here, then over time, in the same way that you get wearing out of this patella, you can also get a wearing out of this area here. Sometimes you might even get little pieces of cartilage breaking off, and that over time will then cause that cracking or clicking. Sometimes it sounds like maybe even a grinding type of clicking. In the same way that that's a problem with that when that happens with the patella, that is also a problem when this happens here. When it happens with the patella, the gliding, that is what we refer to as patellofemoral pain syndrome, or sometimes known as chondromalacia patella. These are two technically different conditions, but very, very similar. So sometimes they do get used interchangeably. Now, when this occurs in the joint between the femur and the tibia, this may be referred to as arthritis, osteoarthritis. It also might be referred to as osteochondritis dissecans. So when you start getting a wearing of the cartilage. Now, again, if this is the reason why you're getting the clicking or popping, then this is also worth getting looked at to get the function, the mechanics of the knee sorted to ensure that this doesn't get any worse. So in the same way that if your car tire's not aligned properly, if that stays that way, you're going to get wear and tear in certain areas of that tire the longer that is in that position. As soon as you correct that tire alignment, then that wear and tear will start getting distributed across the whole thing, which is designed to do that. Well, particularly in the body, it's designed to do that. And so then it can heal. But if there's too much wear and tear in certain areas, and that outweighs the rate at which it can heal, then you're going to get injury into the future. So if you are somebody that does get a lot of clicking within the knee, maybe it's increased over time, it may be worth getting it looked at, particularly if you're getting pain within that knee, then there's almost certainly going to be a dysfunction within that area. So it may be worth getting someone like a chiropractor just to check it, and they should be able to tell you what the reason for the clicking or cracking is and what you can best do about it. I would strongly suggest checking out my knee video, which you can just check out here. I go through some of the common reasons why you get dysfunction within the knee, and I go through some great exercises just to strengthen those areas to improve the function of the knee. So that might be a good way to start. So I hope this has been useful. Please do put any questions in the comments there, and don't forget to subscribe for new videos like this one every single week. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.